So if you're afraid of inflation, which you should be, I would think silver is the #1 investment today. Silver is a smoking deal. And silver at about $15, $16, $20 an ounce, average Joe can do it. You know, you just cut out your Starbucks for a while and go buy some silver. You're in the game. Silver is one of the biggest things against inflation you'll ever see. Great investment.
Are you personally buying silver?
Absolutely. I mean, I've been buying it for years, so I just love silver. But I was buying it at $3 an ounce. Today it's about 15. The reason I like silver is this. #1, gold is hoarded. It's just stuffed away. It has no value to it. Silver is an industrial commodity. It means it's used in cell phones, cameras, computers. It's used everywhere. So that means today what's really interesting is that there is more gold on planet Earth than silver. It is fantastic. And back when, 1 year ago, I think silver was 50 times less expensive than gold. In other words, for 1 ounce of gold, I could buy 50 ounces of silver. Today, 1 ounce of gold will buy 70 ounces of silver, which means silver is a bargain today.
Silver is simply one way to preserve one's wealth, regardless of how much or how little. So what would become of silver in a post-collapse scenario? Let's say that the dollar is being inflated away, it actually is as we speak, and enters a period of hyperinflation, which it likely will one day. When that happens, its purchasing power will diminish greatly. While the system holds together during pre-collapse, precious metals such as silver will become highly priced within the inflated currency, thus holding its value and very likely increasing its investment value as others pour into the commodity to save their own wealth.
Gold and silver do an accounting periodically throughout history. It's really exciting to see this. They automatically revalue themselves when the public wakes up, and they catch up to all the currency that's been produced. And the pile of silver has gone from 2.2 billion ounces to 300 million. Today, there's 8.3 times more gold available for investors to buy than there is silver.
I want you guys to hear I don't think we heard what he just said, okay? To me, I've been saying this for a number of years now. Silver is the biggest opportunity I have ever seen, bigger than real estate, bigger than anything else.
I've heard two conflicting arguments about silver. One, which is that, like you said, it's a good hedge during downtimes, especially during a recession when you might see silver outperform gold as gold climbs higher. I've also heard the counter-argument that during a recession in the past, silver has behaved like an industrial metal, sinking with the rest of the broad equities index. Which camp are you in?
Well, what silver needs is the investment demand, right? And it didn't have that. And at the same time, silver is a byproduct of industrial metals production. So mainly it's coming from copper, lead, and zinc production, also gold. I think primary silver production just is 25% roundabout. And we had more like deflationary forces being at work over the last few years. Silver needs inflation. And if we get what we just talked about, a stagflation, so a stagnating economy and at the same time inflating prices at your grocery store, for example, then this is the ideal environment for silver. So silver is very inflationary sensible. I hope I said this right. That's when this kicks in, silver will take off, and it will be much faster and will run further than gold, but it usually starts much later than gold. So at 1550, I think it's a bargain. I think it's a great risk-reward ratio. Maybe it pulls back $1, $2, $3 from here. Yes, can always happen. But what I do personally is I'm buying silver.
For the long term, silver is a perfect wealth preservation. It's preserving your wealth against inflation. Because whether you like it or not, the dollar is collapsing. Whether who's in office, whether who's president, whether what interest rates do what, the dollar is going to fail regardless. It's already set up. It's set up to fail, whether you like it or not. So what you're going to do about that is either invest in the precious metals and have some alternative, or be SOL.